Welcome to the Purge edition of Dolphins in Depth, a podcast provided to you by the Miami Herald. I am your host, Miami Herald columnist Omar Kelly. Joining me is Isaiah Smalls, Miami Herald beat reporter. Isaiah, the Dolphins on Monday, President's Day. Why President's Day? I don't really know. Isn't that a holiday? Are you working on a holiday? We certainly were working on a holiday. Yeah. We Dolphins decided to purge some of their roster or begin what's expected to be the purge, cutting relatively 4 players, but really formally releasing 3 of them: Tyreek Hill, James Daniels, and Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. 3 of them that really didn't contribute much last season. Obviously, Tyreek Hill suffered that knee injury, that catastrophic knee injury in late September. Then we had Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, which was a horrible free agent signing, a guy who didn't contribute much, didn't show you much, didn't do much, and ultimately got released as a guy who joined the team as a free agent last year. And then James Daniel, all of 3 snaps before suffering his what was it? What did he injure again?
Pec, wasn't it?
Pectoral muscle injury in the season opener, and then not returning to the team at all. That one was a little bit trickier for me because the release of James Daniels depleted the Dolphins cap space by $1.2 million. Would have been cheaper to keep him, but hey, at this point, I do whatever you need to do in order to get the situation right. And then we've also got the expected release of Bradley Chubb, who was not formally released yesterday. It's obviously the word is out there. Here's why I think that's a little bit trickier, because if you release Bradley Chubb as a June 1st release, you get $20.2 million in cap space savings. If you release him as a normal release, just like the previous 3 that you cut, you get a $7.3 million cap savings. 20.2, 7.3, huge difference there. The bottom line is the bill is split up in 2 years as opposed to 1. But if you make him a June 1st cut, you don't get that cap savings until June 1st. And Dolphins need to be compliant by the start of the league year, which is March 11th.
Yep.
March 11th. They are under the cap right now, formally, supposedly about $3 million under the cap. It is what it is. More is expected to come, more tough decisions to come. What were your impressions of the 4 that are either released or expected to be released?
So the Chubb and Tyreek news weren't necessarily surprising, considering just the way that their contracts were structured, right? Those were destined to happen. We've been talking about those since really the start of the season, right? Now, moving on to James Daniels and NWI, those are less surprising, but not really surprising considering NWI's lack of production, right? And James Daniels' 3 snaps. Now, I think the biggest question, right, is I posed this to you yesterday. To me, I had never seen anything like what happened to James Daniels. 3 plays, you're gone. And I asked you this yesterday, and I'm going to ask you this now on wax. Like, where does that rank among the strangest Dolphins careers in the franchise history since you've been around? Because to me, that was absolutely crazy considering the promise, the need at guard, and then just the occurrence. 3 plays, we never see you again. So I wanted to pose that question to you. Like, where does that rank the strangest Dolphins tenures during your time?
There was Jake Grove that stands out to me. Jake Grove, I don't remember how long he was here, but big money center that Bill Parcells added. I'm not even sure how many games he played the first year he was added, but he quickly went on IR and was a wrap. Mm-hmm. I also think about Will Fuller. He
Yes.
that was
Yeah.
your big time free agent signing. I'm not even sure if he played 2 games and didn't really contribute anything. Was done, gone, Audi 5000, never played another down in the NFL. A lot of people were saying he basically just stole money. Quickly, got injured. He supposedly lost his love for football and wanted to quit, and then didn't, and played and got injured and then disappeared. It is what it is. Then there was an offensive lineman. I can't remember his name, but he was from the Green Bay Packers, a veteran offensive lineman, and it was Adam Gase era. And the funny thing, it would be better if I remembered his name. It was the Adam Gase era. And the funny thing is, I had hammered Adam Gase so much, and I've always been big on, you got to do better online. You got to do better online. You got to improve the line. You got to, improve the line. I'd hammered him so much for like 2 years. The minute that they signed this guy as a free agent, he texts me. He was like, finally got your guard. Now get off my back. And dude did not last one game. He didn't last one game. He lasted one game and got injured. Yeah. I wish I could remember his name. I know he was from Green Bay. But anyway, Dolphin fans know. And was subsequently cut the next year. It is what it is. This is par for the course. I will say this about James Daniels. We don't know what could have been.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been worse than what they had, because Jonas Savaiinaea was the worst offensive guard in the NFL, arguably, and I'm not really sure we could argue it. I'm not really sure we can argue it. So anything better than the worst, right now we're going into the 2026 season with Jonas Savaiinaea as a lock for a starting spot and no competition and no right guard. That's got to be a really unsettling spot to be in if you're this organization. I would have at least loved if James Daniels was here. You take it to training camp, you see how he plays, how he participates. But then if somebody needs, offensive linemen have real value. $8 million for James Daniels. I'm sorry, you could trade that after the draft. You could trade that right before training camp. You could trade that right before the season starts. You could trade that right before the trade deadline. Cutting him to create negative $1.2 million in cap space, to lose $1.2 million in cap space, I'm not sure that really makes sense. You could have carried him on your roster and saved yourself $1.2 million in cap space. But you create another additional hole for yourself, which last I checked, Isaiah, there is a substantial amount of holes on this roster. I mean, and that's before we even get to any of the major tough decisions that that have to be made. You right now have a hole at quarterback. You potentially have a hole at running back if you don't get a deal done with Achane, who's going to want $30 million guaranteed, $50 million on the 5-year contract. That's the baseline. He is going to want that, and he's going to feel slighted if he doesn't get it. You figure that out however you want to do it, whether you want to force him to play, sit him out, him not take a snap all exhibition season, not participate during training camp, and then begin playing in the regular season, and you force him to play on his contract, and then you franchise tag him the next year. However you want to figure that out, great for you. Okay? Figure it out, whether you want to trade him now and get something for him and let another team sign him. However you want to deal with that.
I would hope not. That's
I make this argument. Because we're gonna talk about a lot of these guys. Mm-hmm. Why would anybody want to be here right now? Can you make me that argument?
I got you. Real quick. 2 seconds. Let's see here. Look at the screen real quick. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay, that's cool.
40
That's
degrees in New York.
I mean, but hold on, wait. I could go in Tampa. I could sign as a free agent in Tampa and Jacksonville and get that weather.
Tampa and Jacksonville. That's not Miami.
I can live here in the off season. I can live here in the off season, big dog. Like we're talking about during the season.
It's different being able to go to live on Sunday after a win than insert random Tampa Bay club or Jacksonville club here. Like it's just different.
I mean, you want to be here for the life.
National city. Tampa is not.
You want to be here for the life, but what about the competitive team?
Oh right? No, I'm not talking about that now.
I mean, no, but I'm saying
you told me to make the argument. I'm playing my best hands right now. I'm not even. Look, I think this. All right,
I could go to California.
Okay, boom. I got it. Jeff Hafley obviously has mad love from players, considering the way that he simplifies the game, the way he breaks it down, and his ability to mend fences and bring guys in. I read something. It was maybe either I think it was either last year or year before last. He was great with helping when Xavier McKinney, I believe the safety, he helped bring him into the fold. I believe there was like a report of a little bit of maybe not alienation, right? But he was kind of out on an island, right? However, with Hafley being the guy he is, he was able to bring him in and allow this defense to play connected. And they had a top 10 defense in 2024. Now,
why would I care about that as a player? Why, if I'm Devon Achane, why do I care about that? Either you give me my bread or you get me out of here.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, I don't. I thought you just told me to make the argument for him. I didn't know we was going position by position.
I mean, if I'm Minkah, why the hell I want to be here? Like other than my family.
Yeah, I think it's different motivation for different people. Minkah is closer to my age, right? Which means he's not on his way out, but you know how the NFL treats guys once you hit the age of 30, like it's a wrap, right? So to me, if I'm Minkah, I probably would want to go someplace that's a little bit more competitive. But yeah, I know Minkah has family down here. Obviously his brother's at Bama, right?
No, his brother's at Georgia, I think.
Oh, Georgia, you're right. Brother, yes. His brother went to Georgia.
His brother was here for senior year of high school. Minkah came senior year of high school. He just had a young kid. It's nice to be around family. Okay, kid is not a toddler anymore.
Crazy because that trip to Athens, isn't that crazy? Hop on an hour-and-a-half flight to Atlanta and then drive like an hour. Like that's not a crazy flight.
I mean, I could do that. I'm playing for the Falcons. I could do that. Like,
why would you want to play for the Falcons though? Right now, too. Like,
why would you want to play for the Dolphins?
I hear you. I mean, like, I love Atlanta as a city. Anyone that knows me knows that. But again, it is. Hold on, it's 60 degrees, and it's not bad. It's actually 60 degrees in Atlanta,
bro.
That's not bad actually right now.
Yeah. Okay. QB. You release Tua, which makes a even greater cap complication, purge, salary dump. You're gonna have to dump a lot more people to get your books right. You release Tua. Yeah. Receiver, Waddle and who? Tight end, Julian Hill. That's all you got on your roster. Offensive guard, Jonah, part 2. Act number 2, offensive tackle. No backups on this roster. I don't know what Austin Jackson's future is. Chop Robinson is your only proven pass rusher. And can we really say he's proven right now? Inside linebacker, no backups. Cornerback, no starters. Safety, is Minkah going to want to be here? What else do you have? Like, what would make you think that I want to be part of that as a player?
I mean, it's really just the good vibes. You're selling people on the good vibes.
I don't know these people. I don't know this guy.
Yeah, but you got to ask around. Like, you ask around the.
Nah. It don't work like that, Playboy.
It don't work like that? You don't ask around the league to see?
Nah, it don't work like that, Playboy. Nah.
It doesn't? Then how does it work? Tell me. Break it down.
One, he's only been here 2 years. Other than people who played for him in San Fran. Most of those people probably out the league already.
Yeah.
What guys in Green Bay got to say for him, they can't testify for his defensive coach. They can't testify for his position coach. They can't testify for how he's going to coach offense. They can't testify for Bobby Slowick. Like, you don't know what kind of, you see this team and what they're doing. Are they going to be adding free agents, or are they just going to be adding young players that are going to repeat what happened last year, which is a bunch of dudes making rookie mistakes till they actually figure it out? Why do you what makes you think somebody's signing up to be like, oh, let me get down with this?
Look, I have nothing to offer you other than I'm looking out my window right now, and it is a prime 75 degrees outside in February.
And but I can live here in February. I can live here in February without playing for the Green Bay Packers.
You can sell. You're right, but it's a lifestyle down here. Like you understand that there's a lifestyle down here. You're from here. That's the best.
I mean, there is a lifestyle, but I get it for 7 months out the year. Then I go to work for 6 months. I mean,
I'm about to say that math not math in one.
Okay. I get it for.
But I'll say this. Right. There are some guys that I believe are motivated by looking at the impossible and being like, look, I would love to be a part of the
Hold on. Wait, time. You think there are NFL players that are motivated by looking at a rebuild and the impossible and say, let me sign up for that. This is what I got to do. Like,
if you are somebody that has been absent, has been without playing time, right? That has not been getting good playing time.
Oh, you mean the guys that are nobodies?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sign me up for that. I'm a nobody.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're acting like there aren't guys.
I was talking about good players. You talking about randoms. You talking about Jags.
I'm trying to sell Miami. That's what I'm doing.
So you're telling me I'm gonna have a team full of Jags and I should want that? I should be happy about that? I'm just no disrespect.
Are you talking about as a fan?
No, as a player, as Minkah Fitzpatrick. Sell me why Minkah Fitzpatrick should want to be here.
His family is here. I'm telling you that. His family. It's a quick hop, skip, and a jump to Atlanta to go see your brother play in Athens, right? SEC Championship's going to be in Atlanta, so you're already good there, right? You could be a part of your place in the organization isn't up for debate. You are one of the leaders. You are a culture setter. You can kind of build this team in your image.
Do you think he didn't want to be a rebuild back when he was in a rebuild?
I know, I get it. I'm not saying that it's the right decision. You're asking me to sell you on it. I'm not saying that this is a good sell job or anything.
I didn't want to be in a rebuild in 2019. I'm now again forced to be in another rebuild on a 1-year contract, mind you. And you think this is something that I'm going to be like, yeah, let me do
I'm not saying you're going to be happy about it, but I'm just saying that this is an opportunity.
Get me out of here.
Okay, then we can ship you out of here. Then that's
get me out of here.
All I'm trying to do, gotta be quiet because I got neighbors. All I'm trying to do, right, is sell this guy, XYZ person, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Who else is it? Let's say stick with Minkah Fitzpatrick. All I'm trying to do right now is sell Minkah Fitzpatrick on why you should be here. I'm not saying that it's the right decision for your career. I'm not saying it's the wrong decision for your career. I'm just trying to sell you on being here. You are an you're an untouchable leader on this team. Your voice carries weight, and I will empower you to be my, not eyes and ears of the locker room, but to be.
You want me to be a snitch? All right.
I don't want you to be a snitch. I don't believe in that. I just want you to be the tone setter in this locker room, because as a coach, I can only go so far. Do you believe that this is a role that you can do? That's it. That's it. Now look.
I could do it. I don't necessarily know if I want to do it.
And if you don't want to do it, we can find you. We can work. We can work together. We can find you a place.
That's what we probably need to do. Because I'm sorry, I don't got no quarterback. My running back, he don't got no deal. I got one wide receiver. I got no tight ends. I got no offensive line. I got no pass rushes, and the pass rush is how I eat. Yeah, big dog. Let me get out of here.
If that's the way
find me a new home.
Well, then we'll try our best to the best of our ability to find you a place that fits the best of your needs. But until then, I'd have to say this: when we eventually turn around, when we start winning, you're going to be part of it.
Okay. All right.
When we turn around, you're gonna be kicking yourself when we get that first playoff win.
Okay. All right.
In a quarter century.
Hey, you do realize Minkah knows how the business of the NFL works, right?
I do know. I'm sure he does, but
yeah.
Look,
all right.
I'm giving you the opportunity to be a part of something special.
Okay.
No one believed in the Indianapolis Colts, right? Until they showed it.
Until they waxed the Dolphins.
In the Seattle Seahawks till they showed it.
Okay. All right. Cool. Then I guess I need to evaluate and watch what happens in free agency before I basically. Minkah's not going to make any demands. And what Minkah does is it's going to be quiet. It's going to be real quiet. It'll be interesting to see, but I it might be a situation where he needs his deal retouched. And truthfully speaking, I'm not sure everybody's going to be willing to pay Minkah $15 million, whereas the Dolphins might be. But this isn't just about Minkah. This is about everybody on the roster. This is about Zach Sealer. This is about anybody who's got a little bit of juice and power and influence. Like, yes, Austin Jackson probably doesn't have much juice, but like, what are you going to do? You cut Austin Jackson. You already have enough holes on this roster. You going to create another hole? You don't have enough resources to fill the holes you've got. You got 12 holes now. You don't have 12 resources. You want to create another hole with quarterback? You want to create another hole with Austin Jackson? You want to create another hole with trading Minkah Fitzpatrick? It'll be interesting. What happened Monday was the easy stuff. And that's my point. The hard decisions are on the horizon. The hard moves are on the horizon. Where Jon-Eric Sullivan earns his money is the upcoming stuff. These were the layups. Like as I'm going to say in a column, the easy part of a renovation is the demolition. Everybody can get in there with a sledgehammer and tear that joker up. Mm-hmm. Clearly you got to stay away from the wides and the studs, but who can't demo something? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now you need an engineer, an architect, a contractor to like build it back up.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
Electrician, plumber. It's that takes some skills, some planning. So it'll be interesting, a little bit of luck. It'll be interesting to see how the Dolphins do this moving forward. Are there any thoughts on what should or what might be next?
Actually, before I get to, I have something that I want to ask you at the end of this. So,
you had something else to sell me on
yeah. Just remind me that before, just in case I get lost in this. To me, obviously the biggest decision is what you're going to do with Tua, right? If it was me, the decision was up to me. You're going to exhaust obviously the combine is going to be a time where you're going to try to get the lay of the land, right? See, okay, if we're going to trade him, what would it cost us? And what could we get back, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to have those conversations over the next, that's next week. So you're going to have those conversations next week. After that, you'll have a better lay of the land. And for me, it comes down to one or two things. If we can't trade him, I feel like you got to cut him. You got to cut him. You got to cut him because
why do I have to cut him when I'm not losing anything if I keep him? If I cut him and trade him, I lose money, cap space.
That's real. And it's sometimes better to go full if we're going full reset, right? A lot of times, and this has kind of happened a lot with the Dolphins, and you've spoken to this a lot. a lot of times with this team, it's been a partial rebuild, right? They'll be, okay, we'll hire a new GM, but the coach got to stay, or vice versa, right?
Or
And
we'll
so,
keep the quarterback and force the quarterback on everybody. Yeah.
like at this point, you're already so close to a full reset. You might as well dive fully in, right? And look, you look at the Broncos; they did what they had to do, and they are arguably a Bo Nix ankle snap away from playing in the Super Bowl and making it being a much more competitive game against the opponent to the Seattle Seahawks. In my
They
opinion,
also have a quarterback whisperer as a head coach.
you're completely correct. You're completely correct. And obviously, this is a totally different situation, but this is where you have to rely on the people that you pay, right? Like you put together this staff for a reason. Whether you and I like it don't mean anything. It matters what they think and what they're able to build. Like as much as I laughed at the Kevin Patullo signing, as much as you didn't like the Bobby Slowick signing. If they make this work, we're gonna have to eat a lot of crow, and that's just the reality of this situation. Where that's the only thing that matters. And so for me, I think it's just easier just to cut bait. Cut bait, start over. You know what the process is once you cut him. If you keep him on the roster, everything just gets muddied, and you're gonna have to figure out, okay, what do we do next? Because okay, it's a quarterback competition, right? Let's say Quinn Ewers edges him out. The minute that Quinn Ewers, are you willing to ride with your decision for 17 games? Let's say Quinn Ewers starts to stink it up. I'm not putting that on him. But let's say he starts to stink it up.
Okay.
Then come the calls for Tua to come back in, right? Because let's be honest. As much as people were convicted in their decision to draft Tua, you're not going to tell me that the entire tank for Tua nonsense didn't play into that decision. Like the fan base wanted this man. And as an owner, as if you're that guy in that office, you know what I'm saying, making those big decisions, you're going to kind of somewhat see to what the fans want, no? And so when you have this big hullabaloo, like, in 2026, if Quinn Ewers starts sucking and you have people calling for you to put Tua back in, do you want that? Are you willing to stay 10 toes down in your decision? Or are you going to play this game where you, throw Tua back out there? And let's say it's a repeat of 2025, right? Then what decision? Then where are you, right? I think it's easier just to cut bait because you know what the next step is. You keep them on the roster, everything gets a little bit muddy, in my opinion.
So I don't need a backup quarterback.
You do need a backup quarterback, but
I don't need a quarterback that can win me games.
Are you sure quarterback? Are you sure Tua Tagovailoa can win you games?
His history says he could win you games.
Okay, we're not talking about history. I'm talking about you're only as good as your most recent performance.
His history? He won games last season. He didn't win no big games, but he won games.
But what are we doing it for if we're not winning big games?
We're not doing anything.
I hate this.
We are absolutely not doing anything because what are you doing with Malik Willis? You're not doing anything. Like. You're not doing anything. Like, do you think it's just going to pop? You got 12 holes on your roster. You sign Malik Willis. You have a 6-starter draft class. You think it's just going like that?
Of course not. That would be naive to think that. But at the same time.
And if you cut Tua, you're going to have to purge your roster even more. Because you're going to lose money. You're going to lose cap space.
That's fair. Yes, but at the very least, you know what you know where you are, right? That you're at the bottom. You keep Tua around, you're gonna keep trying to convince you, like you're doing right now.
I'm not trying to convince you of nothing.
Convince yourself that okay, we're not as bad as the situation is.
You're bad. No, I didn't. I'm not trying to convince you that the situation is bad.
Yes,
and cutting Tua makes it worse.
Yes, at least you know you're at the bottom now. You know, the only place you can go from there is up. When you keep Tua, you're going to be hovering just above the bottom, and there's going to be room for you to fall back down. But then you're going to have hope. Oh, maybe he finds himself again, and you can maybe inch back up to the middle, right? No, but the reality of the situation is, if you're gonna,
so you think they got to bottom out? They got to bottom
out, and start over, start from scratch. Like I think that's like a lot of times.
Seattle didn't bottom out.
Organizations they hold on a little bit too long. They hold on a little bit too long. I'm gonna give you a prime example. Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. The Lakers held on way too long to Kobe Bryant. God rest his soul. One of the best to ever lace it up. But he put them in a terrible position during his later years, contract-wise. And I know it's not an apples-to-apples comparison, but I'm saying when you have somebody that, for better or worse, probably shouldn't be on the roster anymore because of age, ability, whatever it is, sometimes it's best to let him go and start it over.
Okay, that's a fair comment, and I'm fine with that. I really don't care if Dolphins decide to move on from Tua or not. It makes no difference to me. The 2 points that I think should factor into this conversation is, one, they're going to lose cap space doing whatever they want to do with Tua other than having him on the roster. Not to say that he's worth $54 million, but you're taking a hit not carrying him on the roster this season, which is fine. If you choose to do that, fine. The number 2 thing is you talk about quarterback competition, and say whatever you want about Tua. He's played 6 times more games than Malik Willis and has proven that he's played at a high level where Malik Willis has not played at a high level. And I'm not saying that he's better than Tua. I mean, Malik Willis is not as good as Tua. Malik Willis has a stronger arm, probably superior athlete in terms of mobility. And there's no guarantee that Malik Willis is going to sign here. I don't know. I personally wouldn't offer him ridiculous money, but if these guys do, more power to you. Congratulations. I hope it works out for you. But if you talk about competition, why would you be scared of having Malik Willis compete with Tua Tagovailoa? Oh, other than the fact that Malik Willis probably wouldn't want to come here if Tua is still going to be here, because he probably would feel like, it can't be challenging to beat this dude out.
I mean, I feel like you're moving the goalposts a little bit right now. So you're saying, ask that question again, because now I'm a little bit confused, because you're saying if Malik Willis is a real possibility,
yeah,
right, why you want to on the roster, at least for quarterback competition's sake? Is that your point?
No, here's the number 1 argument for Tua to be on your roster in 2026.
Okay.
And this is really the only argument. 1, you're going to lose cap space, substantial cap space, and have to further purge your roster, then add another backup quarterback, which could be Malik Willis or could not. I don't care. To get rid of Tua. Whereas you could just keep him, have him compete, or have him serve as a backup, or have him on IR and not lose cap space. But if the decision is Malik Willis doesn't want to come here, if Tua's going to be here, and you really want Malik Willis, then obviously it's not that difficult of a decision. I am not living in the land of denial and naivete by believing that some team's going to be like, you know what, Miami? Yeah, man, you got that Tua. Let me get some of that. Holla at me. You want to cover $20 million of the salary? Okay, I give you a 7th-round pick for it. And like, who is doing that?
Yeah.
Who is doing that and paying Tua $34 million and taking on all his dead cap money that Miami gets to avoid for when they finally do release him, because he's owed another $54 million next year? Like, who is doing that? I have a hard time believing anybody signs up for that. But hey, maybe they can work miracles. I don't know. Maybe Indianapolis does a thorough search and says that this is our guy. Props to them if that's the case. Maybe Minnesota. No, it ain't gonna be Minnesota. I keep forgetting Brian Flores over there. Maybe Arizona says, Miami, well, let's swap quarterbacks. You give me Kyler Murray, I give you Kyler Murray, you give me Tua. I don't know what's going to happen at the combine, but I'm not optimistic anything's going to happen, because there's like 10 other quarterbacks that teams might want at a lesser price than actually trading for Tua. Like, would you take Geno Smith for $25 million over paying Tua $54 million?
Ooh, that's like ass off. I would not take Geno Smith. Not this version of Geno Smith. No, Geno Smith threw more interceptions last year than Tua. Yeah. So I don't know if I would take Geno Smith over Tua. No, I would not. Actually, I'm pretty
okay.
I just think also, and as I said this earlier,
if it's half the price.
Oh yeah, half the price. Yeah, like Tua is double. Yeah.
Tua's $54 million. You get to give Geno a $20 million deal.
Yeah, I think for half the team, honestly, the team, but maybe even 10. But I'd feel yeah. I don't 20 is crazy. My thing is this about Tua, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say about it. I just think that when you bottom out, you kind of just you know what's next, right? Everything you could only go up. You can't go any lower.
There's a lot of teams. The Jets have bottom out and stay bottom for a little while now.
You're right. You're definitely
right. Yeah. It's Cleveland.
Stay at the bottom for a while, right? But I think as you know, a new GM, newly minted GM, newly minted coach, right? You can at the very least chalk up being at the bottom to the past regime's mistakes, right? So at the very least,
blame it on everybody else. Yes.
Yeah, you can blame it on you can pass the buck at least for right now.
2026, yeah.
2026, right? And so I think looking forward, right, is the best thing. And so when you bottom out, at least for this regime, this current regime, you can say, look, this is what we had to do to exorcise the demons that have found their way into. It's kind of like with like cancer. You kind of got to cut that piece off and then let it rock, right? And so at least when you get rid of the piece, you know, I'm not calling to a cancer, but
you just did.
No.
You just did.
I'm not saying that in a way that he's talking about his personality and what he's going to do to the team. I'm not saying he's poisoning the team. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that sometimes it's best to have a clean slate and to go forward with that. That's my only thing. You have a clean slate. It's like, okay, now let's see what we can do. But now you're carrying. Now it kind of having Tua on the roster is like carrying someone else's bag through the airport. You shouldn't do it, and it's kind of illegal, kind of. You know, you shouldn't.
But it's my bag.
At the airport.
It's my bag. I drafted him. I developed him.
That is not your bag. You did not come. You did not come to the airport with that bag. That bag was handed to you when you got there. They said some mysterious guy.
No. The bag was in the house when I moved in. If I chose to take it to the airport or not, that's on me.
Okay. I like this analogy even better. But even still, if you move to a house and there's a weird bag sitting there, what you gonna do? You're gonna be like, let's take it and see. Let's see what's inside of it.
That bag might be holding up my whole house, because $54 million is a lot to just be like, all right, here, let me just get rid of it.
I hear you, but like that's just. I think it's just this. It's the best thing to do. You have a clean slate. There's nowhere else you can go but up. Like yes, or you can revel in the bottom. But if you stay in the bottom, then you're gonna be done. Like I'm assuming, and maybe this is a healthy assumption, but I'm assuming that they want to win eventually, right? Let's be honest here. Like the assumption is they're going to
their jobs is to turn it around. And
okay, so.
But they got to make some tough decisions in 2026, and financially, Tua is one of those tough decisions. Should have never gave him the money. I'm thinking to myself, should have never gave you that.
The good Rick James.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know we're about to wrap up, but I wanted to pose this question because this is what I'm going to be writing today. Where do you think Tyreek ranks in the pantheon of all-time Dolphins?
all time.
All-time Dolphins, because this was my thing, right? I don't think he's the 3 retired numbers: Greasy, Zonka, and Marino. He's not touching them. Postseason success. Obviously, Marino was arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. So I think no, not them. Jason Taylor and Zach Thomas, no, because of similar things. Like they've had a monicum of success in the league, but then also they were two of the better players at the position. They played here a while, accolades, all that stuff.
Played here the duration of their career.
Exactly.
Tyreek was a rental.
So I think underneath that, I think that's where the argument starts to begin. And then in terms of at his position, right, I think you could make an argument that he's the best Dolphin receiver. I'm curious how do you feel about that?
Tyreek Hill will go down in my mind as the best athlete that I've ever seen live in person. And that includes the years I covered Florida State when they were winning championships, the years I covered University of Miami when they were winning championships. That includes Andre Johnson. That includes Reggie Wayne, Santana Moss. That includes whoever else, Ed Reed. I've never seen, that includes Cam Wake, Brent Grimes. From an athletic standpoint, I would put Tyreek Hill above Cameron Wake, above Brent Grimes as the greatest athletes I've ever seen covering in a Dolphins uniform. I don't think the 2 seasons that he put together here will never be matched. Had a ton of off-field drama that everybody, including the media and the fans, turned a blind eye to just because, man, that guy's really talented. And, sometimes you gotta you get in bed with divas. Don't be surprised when they do diva stuff. You get in bed with a snake. Don't be surprised you might get bit. Like you knew what you were signing up for, and I don't think Tyreek disappointed. I really don't. In the years that he did not deliver dynamic seasons in his 4 years, one, he didn't have a quarterback for a good duration of the season, and then when he could go over 1,000 yards, which I really thought he should have done, keep playing that game, catch meaningless passes to get over 1,000 yards. He quit on the team. Obviously, it's a black eye. And then the next year, he was probably going to have a good season and, suffered a catastrophic knee injury. I think the story is more of, is Tyreek Hill a first ballot wide receiver and for Hall of Fame? And I think his tenure in Miami will hurt him. But I think how he finishes out his career, when he gets back on a football field, what that looks like, that could be the final signature on a Hall of Fame career to me. So I think he's probably the greatest receiver in Dolphins history. And I definitely think that he's not in the Mount Rushmore players because you got some pretty good Hall of Famers.
Yeah, of course.
But probably the greatest player that's been here for the last 25 years.
Okay. I like that. That's a good little exclamation mark on his and good little summation of his career. Salute to you.
Yeah. And Tyreek, I'm sure we have a interesting relationship. It's not good nor bad. It's, but I got love for Tyreek because that man was dynamic. He worked hard, and he really didn't mean no harm. He just liked attention, and he did a lot of dumb stuff that I hope he learned from. But I'm excited to see what happens to him moving forward. I have been told that he's training, he's running, he's working hard. He will definitely play football in 2026. The question is where. I have a hard time believing he doesn't go to Kansas City or join Mike with the Chargers. Tyreek will be just fine. On that note, Dolphins in depth, we will be back later on this week, unless the Dolphins continue to cut more players. Looking forward to wrapping up the week 1 of pre-off season because, man, I was surprised that they cut 3 guys this week.
I was surprised it happened all in one day. I thought they were gonna space that John out.
Nah, just you take all the negative in one hit, and not that this is negative, but
Yeah.
we thank you for your services. You just keep it moving and allow those guys to create their plans. What I love about this process now is those guys can sign now.
Yeah.
If Tyreek Hill wants to sign a deal, he can sign a deal tomorrow. Now that's not going to happen, but he can. On that note, Dolphins in Depth, we are out, and we will be back later on this week.